Welcome to the 2022 Speedy Awards, the award show that recognizes the best and brightest of the Flesh and Blood TCG community. And here's your host with the most, Flake.
Well, the most is just enough, and that's all we ask for here at the Speedy Awards. I am so excited to just look back on the year and give a little bit of love to all those in the community who have really gone above and beyond to show what this game and this community really can do. That voice that you heard is kind of like the sidekick, co-host, if you will. The announcer of the show is none other than Mark Gibson, aka Marktheus, the shining light, the heart and soul, the heartbeat of 983 Media. Mark, it's been a while since you've been on camera. You and I have worked together for many, many years, but you've kind of just went into your production cave.
Yeah.
We've lured you back out.
It's been a long time. I think it's been 2 years since we've sat together and done a show.
Well, and we're glad to have you here again. For all those who are unaware, Marktheus has been essentially the brains and the production behind so many amazing things like the Instant Speed podcast, like the Goliath Gauntlet. If something looks shiny and new in Flesh and Blood, there's a good chance that it's Mark's fingerprints that are all over it. But we've got 11 categories that we want to get to. And this is, again, from the voting of you, the community. We got hundreds and hundreds of votes that were tabulated. They were compiled and put together for 11 awesome categories. And we have 11 winners that we are going to announce on this show, plus 10 presenters. But Mark, I think that it is us that should kick it off with the first category of the evening. And what is that category?
Our first category tonight is going to be the best set of 2022.
That is correct. The best set of 2022, as voted by you, the community. And our nominees are, Mark.
Our nominees for best set of 2022 is Uprising, Dynasty, and Everfest.
Yes, well, frankly, this one's an easy one to nominate because it is the only 3 sets that came out. So they are all finalists in their own way. And the winner is of the best set of 2022, as voted by you, the community, Uprising. Ah, yes, Uprising. I would figure that it goes to the only draftable set of the year. I don't think there's many surprises with this one. Great cards in all 3 sets, but the community has spoken. Uprising is your best set of 2022. We reached out to so many people out there in the community, recognizable faces, just lovely people. And we were inundated with just love and appreciation for just including these guest presenters. And I think our next category has some of those guest presenters.
Presenting Best New Hero of 2022, Abby, Jordan, and Logan of Flesh and Pod.
Hello, you have Abby, Jordan, and Logan here from Flesh and Pod, and we are going to present the award for Best New Hero of 2022. The finalists in the category are Icelander, Dramai, and Arachne. Logan, we'll start with you. Who do you think it is?
I had Arachne all the way. Arachne was the most unique, thematically, the most interesting hero. It's too bad that Arachne had to come out of a supplemental set, but I got my money's on Arachne. I love Arachne here. Jordan?
I think the Academy voters, they typically like things like Icelander, but they'd be wrong to go with that. Dromai is the way to go. She is our newest illusionist. She controls actual dragons. And if HBO has taught us anything, dragon mommies are the best. Abby.
Well, you're both wrong. As well, apparently, as everybody who did this poll, because the best hero that came out 2022 is Fi. And you can't tell me anything otherwise. Because that is the correct answer.
Not a finalist, though. So,
listen.
Yeah,
I voted correctly.
Oh, okay. You hit the write-in category, I see. That's fair.
Yes.
All right.
And
the winner is Icelander. Why does the community got to be like this? I mean, I live on frozen plains. I don't need to play them in card games. This isn't fun.
Do better, Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, be better, Flesh and Blood community. We don't all need frostbite. Some of us have to live that.
That's right.
Ugh, gross. Jordan, any final thoughts?
Flesh and Pod, Tuesdays. wherever you get your podcast.
Patreon.com/fleshandpod.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. No surprises here, in my opinion. I thought that Starvo might get a little bit more love here, but I think people are still a little bit on the hatred side of the Starvo train. But Icelander, with the most votes of the community, also one of the best heroes just in terms of competitive play. Players like Michael Hamilton reinvigorating that hero and taking it all the way to the World Championships title. So there you have it. Icelander, like it or hate it, Icelander is the best new hero of 2022. Mark, you and I have worked so much on podcasts together on various different shows. At Instant Speed, I think, is one of my favorite things to do. And you've never been a guest on Instant Speed. And
Weird.
It just is that odd? Is that so odd? But we are not a new podcast in terms of what this next category is. But when asking the community, hey, what are the new podcasts of 2022? There were easily a dozen of them. The space is growing, Mark, and I think that's an awesome thing too.
Absolutely, yes. And there's plenty of podcasts out there to listen to for Flesh and Blood. And I just want to say that we are honored to be among. I saw a lot of people posting their Spotify and their different Apple top playlists. And I want to say that it's an honor that we're even ranked up there. A lot of them number 1, number 2, number 3. So it's an honor that we're so well listened to and enjoyed, and just it's humbling. I think we try to put on a great show every week, and it's very humbling to see that so many people enjoy it so much.
Yes, and one of my favorite guests from the Instant Speed podcast has always been who our next presenter is. So why don't you hit us with the next category, Mark, and our guest presenter?
Introducing the category for Best New Podcast 2022, it's Mitch Leslie, a.k.a. Uber.
What's up, gang? It's Ubi here from the Goliath Gauntlet. It's been my pleasure to be a part of some content in the Flesh and Blood world this year because, my God, this space has been absolutely popping off. Incredible content being put out there by so many talented creators. And not least of those, of course, have been some of the fantastic podcasts we've had popping up. So it's my absolute pleasure to announce the finalists as voted by you, the community, for the best new podcast of 2022. The Mana Podcast, Funder, the Living Legends Podcast. And the winner for the best new podcast of 2022 is the Living Legends Podcast. Congratulations, guys. You're doing a fantastic job. And I can't wait to see what you've got in store for us in 2023.
So like I said, there's so many podcasts that have just emerged, which is a good sign. Honestly, I know that we've discussed this on the podcast before, like how much real estate is there in the content creation space for podcasts? And I think you and I agree, this is just unlimited. As long as there's things to talk about, as long as the game is thriving, there will always be voices and good people out there. And I'm so glad that my friends at the Living Legends podcast have really, established themselves as a great place to just hear discussions about Flesh and Blood. So congratulations to the Living Legends podcast, Mark.
Yes, I actually listened to that one as well, and I agree that the more voices, the better. So more to the party. If you want to start up a Flesh and Blood podcast, go for it. It's super simple, super easy, and I think just getting so many different opinions is always a good thing.
Hey, it's not that easy, okay? It's so hard.
I'm sorry. Never mind. It's very difficult, very hard. Don't do it.
Okay. Well, once my, I've just been grounded by Mark saying that my job is super easy, which is fine. It's totally good. Maybe it's because I make it look so easy. Is that what you're saying, Mark?
That's what it is. We make it look easy. Sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, the anxiety and stress never go away. Okay. So the next category is one of those things where, frankly, it's not just about the card games. It's how you prepare for the card games. How do you get better when you're at the table? There's so many elements out there that factor into success in Flesh and Blood. And frankly, you need as much help from the various tools and resources that are available to you. Mark, what is our next category?
Our next category, presenting for Best Resource or Tool of 2022, welcoming Elaine Hammondtree.
Hello, and welcome to the Speedy Awards. My name is Elaine Hammondtree, and I am one of your hosts, reporting to you live from my apartment to bring you the 3 finalists and the winner for the category Best Tool or Resource in Flesh and Blood for the year 2022. Now, this was a community voted award. So thank you for the community for bringing us 3 fantastic finalists and winner today. I think that all of these platforms were very well deserving. So let's jump into it. Your 3 finalists were Talishar Online, FabDB, and Fabrary. Like I said, 3 very deserving platforms. One that I definitely used a lot of myself in the year of 2022, and I'm sure that you guys did too. But unfortunately, we can only have one winner today. The winner for the Speedy Awards for Best Tool or Resource in 2022 goes to none other than our very own Talishar Online. Congratulations, you guys. Very deserving winner. It's been a great year for Flesh and Blood in 2022. We've had a lot of great resources come out of it, make the player experience very enjoyable for everyone. So shout out to all of our finalists, and especially congratulations to our winner. I can't wait to see what 2023 brings.
Thank you, Elaine. Elaine, of course, a wonderful cosplayer out in the community, has her own podcast, the Pitch Perfect podcast, alongside Melody. And it's always a great listen. But Elaine, with the news that, yes, Talishar has put in so much work. And that's something for me that has honestly just rejuvenated my enjoyment of streaming. Mark, you and I were streamers for so many years. And you know how easy it is to just be like, F this, I don't want to stream anymore.
Yes, absolutely. The unique thing about Talishar is also the chat feature, which is something that many card games actually don't have. So it's actually kind of interesting that you get to directly speak to your opponent. And it also birthed our Salty Logs show, which you should all go check out. And it's a good time.
Yeah, Salty Logs is going to be a monthly show where essentially we collect all the beauty of the chat logs from Talishar. I got some actually streaming yesterday, so wonderful stuff. So congratulations to Talishar. Nathan and Jotrick put so much work into that for 2022 and to the benefit of honestly so many people. So thank you for Talishar. Now, some might say, now you and I, Mark, I wouldn't say that we're new to the scene. We've been around the block a little while, you and I. We're a little long in the tooth, as it were. But some new names, and in Flesh and Blood, there's so many because the game is very new. But some stars this past year just bust out onto the scene, and where everybody, it's like Cheers, everybody knows your name. And these people, Mark, are just now household names because of this. So why don't you introduce our next category?
Our next category is Breakout Star of 2022. Presenting the category is Red Zone Rogue.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Speedy Awards. Today, I will be presenting the award for the Breakout Star of 2022. The Breakout Star of 2022 award is voted on by the community to the player who arose to stardom in 2022, either through excellent gameplay or just having an overwhelming presence. The candidates are Michael Hamilton, Brody Spurlock, and Pablo Pintor. The winner is Michael Hamilton. You were voted on by the community as the Breakout Star of 2022. Huge congratulations. Very well earned. I mean, the dude won Worlds. So that's saying a lot.
Well, it's no surprise. I mean, Michael Hamilton really became a household name this year. The guy is a world champ, multiple callings, national champion. The guy is an absolute legend. So this isn't really like, it's kind of like a Rookie of the Year award to a degree, but at the same time, how do you take it away from the champ? I think that Michael Hamilton well deserves. Pablo Pintor as well, but Brody Spurlock just seems to just never... Just always on the top eights. He is a mainstay. All 3 of these names, Mark, frankly, are well deserving.
Absolutely. 3 names that you'll see over and over again, I'm sure, in 2023 at the top of those ladders for sure.
Yeah. All right. So there you have it. The Breakout Star of 2022 is Michael Hamilton. Congratulations, Michael Hamilton. I'm sure that this will go so neatly next to your world championship and your national championship. So
if not in front of
award. Yeah, maybe on your Twitter account, you jam in Speedy Award winner. I don't know. Well, but hey, speaking of dressing up, we've got a wonderful culture that has essentially not just sprouted recently. However, it has definitely thrived. Cosplay is something that in the card game community, especially Flesh and Blood, has really entwined itself as part of the show. You go to a calling, you go to a national championships, there's going to be cosplay. Mark, you are dressed up currently as the announcer on The Price is Right, and that's amazing.
Yes, I am. Or I was going to say I might be halfway there to modern star of the show.
That's true. You look like the butler at the Playboy Grotto, which is awesome.
I'm okay with that.
What is the next category?
Next up is Best Cosplayer of 2022, and introducing the category is DM Armada.
Hello, everyone. Cosplay is an art, and through their hard work, cosplayers transform themselves into a completely different character, which is why, in their honor, I've decided to transform myself today into Dollar Store Captain Jack Sparrow. These 3 nominees have so much talent, skill, and technique to build these amazing outfits from the ground up, whereas I asked my mother to make this vest. Let's take a look at the finalists. Carolina Alvarado, Olivia Gobert-Hicks, Rachel Stoddard. And after nearly 300 community votes, the community has voted on the best cosplayer of 2022, and it is Carolina Alvarado.
Fun fact, Mark, there was a write-in section to this fan vote, of course. My mom got a vote. Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't even know. Yeah. And when I told her, I said, did you know that you got a vote in the Cosplay Awards for my podcast? And she said, what's a cosplay? Is that like the band? And I said, yes.
Yeah.
The best thing to do, Mark, sometimes is just end the conversation.
Yeah. Yes. It's easier to say yes than to explain that.
Put it to bed. So congratulations to Carolina Alvarado, of course, 2-time, big time cosplay champion. Frankly, she's got 2 of those Taylor cards. I think there's maybe one other person in the world who has many as her. So congratulations to Carolina, but also Olivia and Rachel did phenomenal jobs. And there were so many other votes for other amazing cosplayers, but these were the top 3 vote getters. Again, Carolina winning best cosplayer of 2022. Again, looking back on the year, there were so many guests, and not just the winners of this actual, of this award show, the presenters as well. But I think everybody I've named here has been on the show, be it Michael Hamilton, Carolina. And our next category here is something where it's not just about your gameplay. It's not just about, being present or aware of everything, but your contribution. What are you giving back to the community? So what is our next category, Mark?
Our next category, Best Community Contributor of 2022. Introducing the category, Tommy Fresh.
Thank you. Enough. Thank you. I am Tommy Fresh, and I am presenting to you today the category for Best Community Contributor for Flesh and Blood in these 2022 Speedies. Brought to you by the Instant Speed Podcast. Now, the community members that I'm about to talk about have shown ongoing dedication to positivity, community building, inclusivity, and celebrating the game. And we got many, many votes for this category from many, many different people, which isn't a surprise to me because we have a wonderful community with many, many folks that are just really contributing a lot, every day. But that being said, we are down to just 3 top vote getters. And those vote getters are DM Armada, Red Zone Rogue, Flake, aka Matt DeMarco. All 3 known for their time in the booth, as well as their many, many contributions to content on YouTube and elsewhere in podcasts and such. No doubt all would be deserving of this prize, but there can only be one. And I'm going to read it to you right now. Flake, Matt DeMarco, give it up for the host. What? This is crazy.
All right, so I am beyond flattered. And again, I was not expecting this. It was a write-in vote, and it was close. So many people, so many deserving. I am beyond flattered. I will pay this forward and give this to the whole community, frankly, because I think everybody loves it. But thank you to everybody who thought of me as somebody who is a positive force in the community. And I hope that, and I know that rather that everybody out there also we're all pulling in the same direction. So it's not just me. It's not just the other two, DM Armada or Red Zone Rogue. It's everybody. And I really, really appreciate it. But it does mean a lot that you guys think of me this way, Mark. So.
Totally not rigged.
Oh, totally not rigged. What do you think this is, FIFA? Let's get real here. Mark, we got a bunch of new cards, and I know that there's one thing that you love about new cards is reading them in their entirety. Isn't that your claim to fame?
That's an old meme, but it checks out.
It definitely does check out. For people who don't know, Mark and I have known each other for so many years, and we've played a ton of card games together, be it Gwent or Magic or obviously Flesh and Blood he's getting into and stuff like that, but Mark has always been a point-click-delete type player. Get aggressive and don't look back. Reading cards, Mark, not your forte, but there's so many new cards that came out in 2022.
Yes, and luckily, I have yet to see a Flesh and Blood card that has text like Magic has, where it's just an encyclopedia of description.
Yes. Yeah, no, you don't need like like the Rosetta Stone to figure out what the hell is going on here. But we do have a fresh new category, Mark.
We do. Our totally not rigged next category, favorite new card of 2022, presenting Alex Norville.
Oh, hey, it's Alex. Here to bring to you the 2022 Speedy Awards, where we're about to dive deep into what the community thinks is their favorite card of 2022. We've got some very strong contenders. We've got Rock, we've got Crown of Providence, and we've got Nitro Mechanoid. You've spoken, and the results are in. So let's get to it. Representing the brutes, we have no frills, none of this fancy split damage. All we need is something we can use to smash. And thus, we have Rock, a fan favorite, and for good reason. But on the other end of the spectrum, we have a card that's all about advanced technology and setting up different items to create Nitro Mechanoid, sure to obliterate your opponents and overpower them. And in the midst of these two, we have Crown of Providence, symbolizing our desire for power. And you do gain a lot of power with Crown of Providence. Versatile card, one that can get you out of many sticky situations. Crown of Providence can come and save the day. And I think it has on many occasions, and that's why, without further ado, I give to you the 2022 favorite card of the year. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's none other than Crown of Providence.
Sometimes, Mark, cards have cult followings, and I was actually surprised that Rock did not win, because Rock is love, Rock is life, and Rock, unfortunately, did not quite win here, but I think it went from just fan favorite kind of cult status to people leaning on the fact that, frankly, Crown of Providence is honestly the most useful, universally just good card that is in more decks than anything else, and Crown of Providence wins best card of 2022. But I mean, Mark, throwing a gigantic boulder at somebody, like there's like power to that.
It did not rock the category, if you will.
I am just okay. For everything that we love, there's got to be something that we equally hate, and we have another category for you at the Speedy Awards?
It's not the Razzies, it's the Speedies, because we're talking about the most hated card of 2022. Presenting is Hayden and Brendan of Arsenal Pass.
Hello, Instant Speed listeners. This is Hayden Dale and Brendan Patrick from Arsenal Pass, YouTube and podcast extraordinaires. Also, we like to call ourselves. Brendan, we are here to present an award.
I think I know what the winner is, to be honest.
Well, my first question, I hope you haven't opened that envelope, because that's told you, sit on that. Like the Academy Award presentation, and we won't muck up this picture, I promise. But Brendan, what is your personal most hated card of 2022? Doesn't even have to be a new card. Just what's your most hated card?
Yeah, so this will come as a big surprise to everyone out there. It's Oasis Respite. The card is terrible.
Well, I actually asked Flake if I could add Barrage and Beatdown onto this list, and he said, no, you definitely can't. I said, well, what about, what about another Brute card? And he said, no Brute card. So I guess we'll just have to do the award as is, Brendan. And the 2022 Speedy Award for the most hated card, new card, here are your finalists. Aether Icevein, Hypothermia, and Revel in Runeblood. Brendan, over to you.
All right, so all the way from wherever this came from, the winner is Revel in Runeblood. I'm surprised, not Hypothermia, not Aether Icevein. The two disruptive cards, I really would have expected those to win, to be honest, because they shut down, aggro decks that just don't get to play the game. But yeah, Revel in Runeblood, a card I actually think that is only overpowered or above rate in Viserai. Actually, I think in the other Runeblades it's much more tame.
Shows how much Viserai touched people this year. All right, Brendan, that's it for us.
That's the way to put it.
Back to you in the studio, Flake.
Everybody has their own, unique ways of hating or loving this game and cards specifically. And frankly, you heard it from Brendan. He's like, I hate Oasis Respite, but it wasn't even on the list. In terms of this, there were so many write-ins because everybody has their own little flavor of a card that they don't like. Ultimately, Revel in Runeblood. You all know this card. It has happened to you most likely. You ever played against a Viserai who just suddenly has a bajillion rune chance? Yeah, well, that's the way it happens. Hypothermia, Aether Icevein, be damned. Rune chance aplenty. That's what make people shiver in their boots. We have so many amazing people in the community, but what about the bigger picture? What about the people who come together to make a store or a shop that really pumps a lot of life into the community? There's plenty of them out there. You see them at the events. You see them out there doing good things, sponsoring content, sponsoring people, and just bringing a lot of life to this. Mark, what is our next category?
Best Community Champion LGS of 2022. Introducing the category is Matt Rogers.
Hello, everybody. I'm Matt Rogers, and I've been given the honor of announcing the Speedy Awards Community Champion Local Game Store Award. So thank you so much to Flake for asking me to do this. He knows this is something really important to me. My life's work has been local game store fostering communities, and it is something that is just, deeply important to me and deeply important to us as a community for this game. The 3 stores that have been nominated, and this has been voted on by the community. This is community chosen. So the 3 stores are Min-Max Games in Chicago, Illinois, Green Tree Sports Cards in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the Realm Games in Mansfield, Ohio. So all 3 of these stores have gone over and above and shown immense work and effort and passion towards growing and fostering their local communities. And I just want to give a huge shout out to these guys. This game would not be where it is today without stores like yourselves. So please, anybody out there running a local game store, we do appreciate you. We really do, and we really appreciate the work that you did. So now we're gonna open this up and see who our community champion is. So a huge congratulations, the Realm Games from Mansfield, Ohio. Congratulations, you are this year's Speedy Awards Community Game Store Champion. We thank you so much. Please keep doing what you're doing. And to all of our finalists, congratulations. And bring on 2023.
All these stores, Mark, were amazing. They've done so much for the community. People like Green Tree Sports Cards out there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've never been there, but it's on the radar for sure. But MinMax Games, friends like Sam Dando at MinMax Games, who are always at these events, always helping out the community. And finally, the winner of the Realm Games. Hey, if you've ever been to a speakeasy Flesh and Blood party in Ohio, it's got to be the Realm Games. Keith and Jacob at the Realm Games do so much for this community, so much for this game. And honestly, everybody who has really put in their efforts and their blood, sweat, and tears to make Flesh and Blood what it is today, thank you so much. But our winner for Best Community Champion, as you heard, is the Realm Games in Mansfield, Ohio. This show, man, these awards have been exceptional. I'm so happy with how this went. But we've got the big fish to end this one, Mark. The big one.
Flesh and Blood MVP of 2022, being presented by the big fish himself, the Tannen Grace.
Hey everyone, Tannen Grace here to present the MVP award for the Speedy Awards here. Flake asked me to come in and help out a little bit, so I thought I would, and it looks like he saved the best for me as I get to announce who gets the MVP for the year of 2022. And wow, is it a stacked field. We've got 3 people up for this. It was voted on by the community. It looks like we had 300 community votes, and y'all have spoken. But let's talk a little bit about the nominees. We had 3 nominees. Number 1, Michael Hamilton. What more can be said about this guy this year? World champion, national champion, revolutionized the game with that Icelander deck. Just one hell of a performance, top to bottom. Maybe one of the most complete years we'll ever see overall. So it's going to be tough to beat him, but we'll see who else got mentioned in here as well. The second person up for the award is Matthew Folks, also a great year Pro Tour champion of Pro Tour number 2. That was the one in Europe, in Lille, France, with an amazing take on a Briar deck that came out of nowhere, was played masterfully by Matthew Folks, and took down the whole event. Also had some other top finish this year, national champion in his own right as well. Really good player, I think very underappreciated for how good of a player and a deck builder he is, and someone that I think will learn just how good he is as time goes on in Flesh and Blood. We'll see how good it was with that deck that he brought. And last but definitely not least, one of my votes for best player in the world, that's Pablo Pintor, winner of Pro Tour 1, won a calling this year, national champion as well. Just what else can you say about Pablo Pintor? Top 8 both of the Pro Tours, only player with multiple top 8s in the Pro Tours. So this is a stacked field of these 3 players. I'm not even sure who I would vote for if I had to vote for here, but the tallies are in. As I said, 300 community votes, and the winner is the vote for MVP for the year of 2022 is Michael Hamilton. No real big surprise there. The world champion, the Icelander Stan, is your victor, and he is your MVP for 2022.
Tannen Grace, always bringing the heat. Thank you so much, buddy. And was there any debate about this one? Michael Hamilton just blowing the field away on the battlefield, as it were. Multiple callings and national champion and world champion. The guy was nasty, and not just the success that he saw in terms of winning tournaments. It's also the fact that Michael Hamilton is somebody who innovated Icelander, who took heroes that you thought were played a certain way and turned them upside down and really just reinvigorated the process and going back to the blueprint and just building from the ground up. So congratulations to you, Michael Hamilton. Honestly, like I said, this one alongside Mark, this is his second award at this award show.
2-time champion. We've already got our first 2-time champion on the awards.
Yeah, we got our first Al Pacino of an award show. It's yes. Michael Hamilton. Except in terms of actual personality and outgoingness, Michael Hamilton, very humble, very reserved, very quiet, just yes. calculated, just a really nice person. Doesn't seek the spotlight, just does what he does. Al Pacino, loudness. Yeah, crushing it. Michael Hamilton, congratulations, my friend. You could put this award next to your other award, which will then be in front of your World Championship trophy. Friends, it has been a wonderful year, and this is all for you. This is your doing. So thank you to everybody in the community who has just really put a lot of love into Flesh and Blood and it made it what it is today, and really given me something to just enjoy on a daily basis and be part of this community. Mark, you You and I kind of got into Flesh and Blood almost to the same degree, but from different angles. And frankly, I think that you and I can both agree that this is where it's at, dude.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not a big player myself of the game, which a lot of people always find is kind of funny. But I fell in love with more of the community aspect of it, and worked with a lot of different content creators and people in the community, helping them with their videos and their content, and working with LSS and doing our stuff as well. And Goliath Gauntlet, I think, was a nice big cherry on top. And so it's been fantastic. So I look forward to more of that going into next year. And this is a great community to make content for us. So thank you for welcoming us in to your homes, I guess.
It's a good way to do it. Yeah, we're in your homes, friends.
We're in your ear and your house.
Yeah. And your house. There used to be old school WWF pay-per-views, which are called like WWF in your house. Like that was their whole gimmick. Like that was their marketing scheme. And that was like the peak of the 90s when it was like Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels in your house. Man, I miss those days.
The podcast is coming from inside the house.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in to the first annual Speedy Awards. I am Flake. Mark, take us out, buddy.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the 2022 Speedy Awards. We'll see you next year for more Flesh and Blood action.